Okay, we're going to go ahead and jump in on today's topic. Here is my question for you. How many of you have ever struggled getting started at something? Meaning, you want to do something, you have a vague kind of plan of how you might get there. Greetings from Germany. What is up, Germany, next month? I think for 15,000 people. I'm very excited about that. So how many of you have ever wanted to get started? You had a goal, you had a desire, you had something you wanted to do, but you kind of struggled getting it off the ground. I mean, you know what you want long term, you know what you really want to achieve or how you want to feel or what you want to have it be possible, but in the moment, you're just struggling getting it off the ground. You're struggling with the initial movement. Now, I'm seeing hands raised, I'm seeing me in the comments, I've been there. Okay, cool. So you guys know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to break this down for you because someone just asked this on Instagram and I was like, oh, what a great question. My goodness, this needs to be answered. And so the problem is, the thought is not sure where to start. So if you're not sure where to start, often the problem is you're either overcomplicating it, meaning you're making it such a big deal you don't know which thing to do first, or the other thing I wrote down is you're overshooting it, meaning you're starting with the goal of I want to make $100 million this year instead of I want to figure out how to make $100 this year. And as soon as I make $100, I'm going to figure out how to make $200 and then $400 and $800, then thousands, and multiply. So you're starting out too far out, which makes it almost impossible to hit. And even if you had 100,000 when you're in for $1 million, you feel like you messed up and you failed and you didn't quite get it. And so in order to overcome this problem, I'm going to break this down and make it really simple for you. Here are the steps. Number one, imagine you're at day one of Olympic training camp. Day one, what do? You show up, right? That's step one. So you got to show up. Step two, you get a coach. Notice all Olympic athletes have coaches. So you get a coach. That coach has this magic thing called a stopwatch, a measurement device, let's say. And what do? Well, if you're going to run the 400-meter dash, you walk out onto the track. You get on the track. The coach holds up the watch and goes, ready, go. And you hit go, you hit the timer so it starts measuring, and then you run like hell. You run as fast as you can. You run. Huh. You get to the finish line and the coach goes, huh. And then he looks at the time and he writes it down. And he goes, okay, let's do it again. And you walk back to the starting line and he goes, ready, go. And you run. And you go, ah. And you finish, and he goes, huh! And he writes it down. And he goes, okay, one more time. And he takes it to the finish line. And you get where I'm going with this. You go do it 10 times in a row, and you measure each time, and what you're figuring out is, how long does it take you to get the initial result? What is your current pace? How skilled or talented or able are you to get the starting result? Now, once you have that, this is called your starting measurement. You know where to start. And so you go, okay, it took X amount of seconds to run 400 meters. It took X amount of days to produce $100 in sales. It took X amount of time to get one customer. It took X amount of time to sell one program or product, whatever it is. But you measure it, you track it, and your coach goes, this is how long it takes you to go that far. That's step one. And you did it 10 times to make sure that you get the average of your fastest, your slowest, the ones in between. So it says on average, if you do 10 attempts, all 10 attempts, it takes you X amount of time to produce this result. And then you go, oh, awesome. Now I know how long it takes me over 10 attempts to do this result. Then you go, okay, great. Now you go back to the coach's office, you sit down with a clipboard, and here's what you do. Now you paint a target on the wall. Something, if you were at gun practice, you're aiming for, the target you're aiming for. You paint it on the wall, and you make a decision that says, hey, if I'm going to go after that target, let's paint the target a little bit faster than we've ever done before. So you take your 10 best results, you take your average number, or you take your best number. Here's something, one of my coaches, mentors, said this to me. He said, why are you using your average? Would you hire anyone on your team with the goal of them being average? Or are you hiring people who you want to be top performers on your team? What you should be measuring against every month is the best you've ever done. I was like, oh, wow. That kind of stung a little, because I always using the law of averages. I was using my average results to compare against. Am I doing better or worse than what I do most of the time? Average. And he goes, you never hire someone to be average. You hire them to be top performers. I was like, oh, shit. And then I looked at myself, I was like, uh-oh. Boom was right. I sat down, I was like, oh, shit. And he said, look at the best you've ever done. That's what you measure up against every time. So you take your best time out of the 10 attempts that you've done this, you take it, you put it on the board, you paint a target around it, something you're going to aim for at target practice, and then what we do is we demand of ourselves everything we've got each day to see if the same amount of time you can produce a little bit better than you've ever done before. A little bit better than you've ever done before. And so what happens is, when you're going out and you're trying to do a little bit better than you've ever done before, here's all the times you've done it, you want it a little better than you've ever done before, and what you're going to do is you're going to demand of yourself every day the effort it takes to go out, give all your effort, measure every moment of it, and fine tune it. Do a little tiny adjustment, see if you get better. Do a little tiny adjustment, see if you get better. Do a little tiny adjustment, see if you get better. Now pretty soon you go from here to there. Then you go, I have a new best. Now what I'm going to do is aim for a little bit. I'm going to go back to the drawing room. I'm going to paint the target on the wall so I can aim at it. And I'm going to go a little bit further than the best I've ever done again. And then you do it. Then you go a little bit further. Then you do it. Now what happens is pretty soon, what is your best now used to be a pipe dream back in the day. But instead of starting at the giant dream, you can use that for your vision, but not for your goals. Your goal is just a little bit better than you've ever done, a little bit better than you've ever done, a little bit better. And pretty soon, you're way up here when you used to be down here. You crush it and you continuously make progress or growth or improvement. This is how you actually grow stuff. Now, I used to mess this up all the time because I would sit down and I'd go, what do you want? And I would start with the pie in the sky, gigantic goal. Notice, not a vision. A vision needs to be big, hairy, audacious, exciting, beautiful, far beyond whatever is plausible right now. But a goal needs to be a little bit further than you've ever done before. If you've never done it before, go do 10 attempts, add up all 10 and figure out what your best is and aim for a little bit beyond that. That's how you get there. Rewind this, watch this again, tag a friend in this, and share this with friends and family. Share this with your team if you're at an office or a business, so that you can properly set goals and properly make progress and improve on everything you're doing. P.S. I have a very special thing coming up starting January 2020 for 35 to 45-year-old business owners. This will be majority men, not all men. There's some women, badass women who join us as well. There's 10 seats at the table. 2 of them are already taken, so there's 8 left. It's a large investment, but it's for people who are small business owners who are looking to improve their overall results. It is a significant investment. It's going to require 9 days of time spread into 3 meetings, quarterly throughout the year. And we're going to measure and hold each other absolutely accountable as a peer group, which is the last piece here, to hold each other to the fire and make sure we absolutely deliver in 3 categories of life. Your business, we're going to grow your business. Number 2, your health and fitness. We are going to hold you to the fire and make sure you are the healthiest, strongest, and most resilient mentally, emotionally, physically version of yourself. And 3, relationships. I believe if you have the first 2 but you don't have someone to share it with, you're missing out in life. So it multiplies the emotion, multiplies the joy, multiplies the love. And so those 3 things, business growth, health and fitness, and relationships, really truly have thriving, happy, healthy, loving relationships. So if you want to focus on those 3 in 2020, you want an accountability group to kick your ass and hold you accountable, DM me. I'll tell you all the info. It's starting January 2020. If you're looking for a badass coach, we have some amazing coaches on our team who can be the person to hold the stopwatch for you, to challenge you, to push you, and to coach you through that constant growth and improvement. You can go to JerrickRobbins.com, or if you're on Instagram, go to my profile, click the link in my bio, and there's a 3-step formula that you can use to improve your progress and results. So have fun with that, kick some butt. Naeem, please watch this one today over again. You're doing good, buddy, but this will show you how to improve. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.